New Mesh Edit features of Undet in Aries Commander 2020. In this version we introduce whole new mesh management and edit functionality. Let's go ahead and start. All mesh edit functions will be located in a feature extraction tab in Undet ribbon menu under Mesh Edit button. With mesh edit options you will be able to decimate current mesh, slice or imprint mesh, erase mesh faces and close mesh holes. Some of those functions are self-explaining while others are a little bit more complex. So let's look and try all of them. But, first of all we will create site mesh. Here we have very basic 3D model of our building for better situation understanding. To create site mesh we will run feature extraction function. In a pop-out window we will select Find Plane option, and we will select any flat surface point in our point cloud. I will click anywhere on road since I know it is flat enough. Here you should try to avoid selecting point which is not on surface plane. For example bush, car, tree or something like that, because this will result in mesh being not accurate. So once we select point we will have to change recognition parameters by adjusting step size and curvature tolerance. Here our plane should be couple of meters size. This will allow Undet to calculate and generate mesh more precise. After our plane size is good, we can go ahead and create mesh by clicking Convert to Mesh button in a pop-out window. Here you will be asked if you want Undet to calculate mesh for all visible point cloud extent or just for recognized plane. In this case I want Undet to calculate and generate mesh for all of my site, so I will click Yes. If I would like mesh to be calculated for plane I would choose No. So after calculation is completed you will have option to reduce mesh faces count by simplifying it. I will keep all of mesh faces because mesh decimation can be performed at any time with our mesh edit functions. And that is it. We have our surface mesh. Now we will walk through our mesh edit functionality. We will start with mesh decimate function. As I said before it can be done anytime. It will allow you to reduce total count of faces of your mesh. This function is really simple but can be very useful. To perform it click Mesh Edit button and then select Mesh Decimate option. After that you will be asked to select mesh, and enter value percentage reduction. In this case I will enter 0.1, so it means that my mesh will have 10 times less faces than right now. This function is useful because working with meshes that have hundreds of thousands of faces might have impact on your computer performance, and mesh decimating will allow you to avoid it, and will make your work faster and smoother. Next function that we are going to talk about is Mesh Slice Imprint function. This function is a little bit more complex since there are couple more options to select while performing it. Basically this function will allow you to slice, imprint or draw projection to your mesh. While performing any of those functions first step is to select coordinate system, you can choose from world coordinate system or user coordinate system. After that, you will be asked which option you want to select imprint, slice, project or project and slice. After selecting any of these options you will have to select mesh, and then last step is to select object which geometry will define area to which function will be applied. Here I have outline of my building, so I will select it as my object and slice it from main mesh. As you can see that area was sliced out perfectly. Imprint function will recalculate your mesh and join mesh geometry with selected object geometry. This is really simple, follow previous steps, but instead of slice let's select imprint option. And that's it, Undet will make all the calculations and regenerate mesh. Another function is project and slice. This function will draw projection of selected object to your mesh surface and slice it out of mesh. In this case I will do approximate outline of our road and use project and slice function. So now Undet will slice out my drawn road geometry and will create projection of it. As you can see object was sliced out and precise projection of it was drawn. Another function is erase faces. This function will allow you to erase unwanted or unnecessary faces from mesh. Simply click Erase Face button, select Faces by drawing polygon, and that is it. All faces that will be inside drawn polygon will be deleted. The last function that we will talk about is Close Hole function. It will allow you to close any hole that there is or was made in your mesh. First we will create a hole by using slice function, and we will delete that sliced rectangle to create hole. Only thing is that while performing this function you have to turn 3D wireframe mode, because otherwise it will not work. After that simply specify edges of hole, and that is it. Hole was closed, and as you can see in shaded view it is almost impossible to see where hole was. So that's it. This is quick review of Undet mesh edit functionality. If you have any questions send us email to info@undet.com. Thank you for watching and see you in our next videos. For more info subscribe our channel or visit our website at www.undet.com.